please pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please have a seat. Janet, we have a salary board first. Go ahead, Janet.
Item number 3 on your salary board, Chairman Clausy wishes to announce that today's salary board meeting was duly advertised in a local newspaper. Roll call of permanent members. Controller Grayson.
Here.
Commissioner Schock.
Here.
Commissioner Bridey.
Here.
Chairman Clausy.
Yeah.
Is there any public input on agenda items only?
Nope.
Number 6, a motion is needed to approve and dispense with the reading of the minutes of the salary board meeting of April 7, 2015.
So moved. Second.
And a question? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carried.
Okay, a motion is needed to adopt the recommended actions for the updated classification and compensation plan, which includes the following. A, the currently funded employee positions shall be the only ones to be included in the plan. And 2, the list of unfunded, unionized, or eliminated department positions should be excluded from the plan. We're going to start with the courts. Judge Wiest.
This has been a you need to get a motion in a second first, right?
Yeah.
Okay, motion and second.
Okay, we need a motion.
All right, the judge made the motion. I'll second.
Okay, Mr. Bridey, second. And a question?
I just have one comment. I want to clarify that what we're talking about here is the existing plan, and you're making changes to that, as opposed to, you had a conversation with me the other day about wanting to change starting salaries for
No,
positions.
that's not.
That is a separate, I just wanted that on the record.
Yeah,
that's a separate thing.
That's a separate issue. That coming next month, or the month after.
Okay, and then the only other comment that I would have is, I have no issue, we have, heads of the various row offices here to vote on behalf of their offices, and certainly I give a lot of deference to what those row officers want to do within their own offices. With respect to the aspects of the plan that deal with positions that report directly into the commissioner's office, I would prefer that we split this into 2 different sections, because that one, frankly, I would vote against, because I feel that at this point, we don't want to hamstring a board who's coming in here, a new board that will be coming in here in a few months, and if they choose, after, we've identified which positions have been unfunded, if they choose to continue to not fund those positions based on the structures that they would like to have in place for those, those areas that report directly to us, they can do that at that time, but I would like to leave that option available to the board.
That's your opinion, Mr. Schock.
And that's why we all have an opportunity to state it.
Okay, we have 6 months, this board to save, to continue to do business for the taxpayer, so I would do my business to the last day I'm in office. I'm not going to wait for the new board or wait for the new board to do what they want to do. I mean, we get paid for the taxpayer, we must function and do what's right and go on with the business, and that's what I'm going to do. So we have a motion on the floor. You make a motion, the judge make the motion, Bridey second. Okay, and the question, the roll call.
Wait, one clarification. Is this being done with respect
That's
to
individual,
all?
no, individual roll call.
Okay, so this is for the court.
This is for the court
first,
only,
then.
yes, this is for the court only.
Okay.
Roll call.
Judge Wiest.
Yes.
Controller Grayson.
Yes.
Commissioner Schock.
Yes.
Commissioner Bridey.
Yes.
Chairman Clausy.
Yes. Okay, who's the next roll
The
call?
coroner, there is no changes to
Okay,
his
the coroner's
department.
no change, so we don't
Okay.
need it to do. The next row officer will be
District Attorney's Office.
District Attorney's Office. Yes, she didn't show up today.
I tried to talk to her right about 2 hours ago to remind her
Okay, so
and pass on her for name.
Okay,
table for right now.
okay. The Sheriff's Office.
It's here.
I'm here.
Okay, we need a motion to,
Just to clarify,
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, my positions are the first deputy position, non-union, correct?
yes. Yes.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, you make the motion, we need a second.
Second.
Second. Okay, and a question? I mean,
No question.
roll call.
Sheriff Wolf.
Yes.
Controller Grayson.
Yes.
Commissioner Schock.
Yes.
Commissioner Bridie?
Yes.
Chairman Clausy?
Yes. Okay, can I ask you guys where you stand on the raw office for the district attorney, so we can vote it and go on, or we gotta wait for her?
Can we vote it without her being present?
Yeah,
Did she
absolutely.
indicate
She
going
was
to be here?
notified.
She called me
Yeah.
right about at 11:30.
She wasn't notified, she don't show up, but there's nothing we could do. Okay, let's go forwards with the district attorney. Okay? So
Okay,
I make the
motion?
motion for
Okay.
the district attorney.
I'll second.
Mr. Bridie, second. On the question. Roll call.
District Attorney Targonski?
Is not present.
Controller Grayson?
Yes.
Commissioner Schock?
Yes.
Commissioner Bridie?
Yes.
Chairman Clausy?
Yes. Motion passed.
The next office is the Office of the Prothonotary Clerk of Courts.
You make the motion.
Second.
Mr. Bridie, second. On the question. Roll call.
Prothonotary Clerk of Courts Dunkelberger? Controller Grayson?
Yes.
Commissioner Schock?
Yes.
Commissioner Bridie?
Yes.
Chairman Clausy?
Yes. Final, we get rid of all them positions that was here for years and years and years.
Treasurer's Office. Did you make a motion, Kevin?
Just a question on the accounts receivable clerk, would that?
No, that's
She'll
different.
be added.
That's different. That's for eliminated them position, right?
That'll be added to the complement once the position is created.
Okay, but
Position
what's the,
doesn't exist
It
yet.
don't exist yet, right?
That's on the
That's on the agenda to be created.
that's the next one.
Yes.
You still gonna go through the motion, they went through. So you're gonna make the motion? Okay, Bridie, you second? On a question. Roll call, please.
Treasurer Gilroy?
Yes.
Controller Grayson?
Yes.
Commissioner Schock?
Yes.
Commissioner Bridie?
Yes.
Chairman Clausy?
Yes. Okay, now we go to the position.
Nope, Register and Recorder's
Oh, I'm
Office.
sorry.
Mary
Mary, I didn't recognize you. Get up, you're too short. You're like me. Okay. Okay,
Second.
you second? On the question? Roll call, please.
Register and Recorder Zimmerman? Controller Grayson?
Yes.
Commissioner Schock?
Yes.
Commissioner Bridie?
Yes.
Chairman Clausy?
Yes. That's complete?
Nope, with the Commissioner's Office.
Oh boy.
Okay, who's gonna
go
make the motion?
ahead. Okay, I make the motion for the commissioners.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Yes, it's roll call. And the question first, I'm sorry. Roll call.
Controller Grayson?
Yes.
Commissioner Schock?
No.
Commissioner Bridie?
Yes.
Chairman Clausy?
Yes.
And then we have the Controller's Office.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, I second the motion. And the question? Roll call.
Controller Grayson?
Yes.
Commissioner Schock?
Yes.
Commissioner Bridie?
Yes.
Chairman Clausy?
Yes.
Okay, number 8. A motion is needed to eliminate the part-time position of Account Receivable Clerk effective October 10, 2015, and create the position of Senior Accounting Administrator and hire Christina Johnson effective September 10, 2015, at an annual salary of $31,327 at 71 hours per pay period.
We need
Motion?
a motion. You can make a motion. I second the motion. On the question?
I have a question. On the question is, I understand the need for it being that we're now collecting Marion Heights' taxes. But, the tax time was typically, a short window throughout the entire year. I don't feel that a true full-time position is needed. Is there something that I'm missing there?
Well, I think with the changes that the state has made with the tax collectors out there, there are several people out there that are not on a computer. They're going to have to switch over to a computer. They all have to be certified every year. So I anticipate getting more municipalities in the near future.
But don't you think that we could address that at that point? I I just don't want to put the cart before the horse. I know, Chris, you were a tax collector. I've had my business dealing with tax collectors on a daily basis, and many of them work, the second Tuesday of the month, and they're only open from 9 to noon.
Not this guy.
Not that guy, though. But that's just my concern, is I think that if we did pick up another municipality or so, I think it would warrant it. So for now, I'll probably vote against it, though.
Well, I think part of this as well, Kevin, if I recollect our conversations, is this is also happening at the same time that you're going to be losing several people through the early retirement. So getting a full-time person in now to get them completely up to speed, not just from the tax collector standpoint, but also, for the other elements of the office that need to be covered, as you have people who are going to be leaving. You're losing almost your whole office. I mean, it would be you and Gail, right, are the only two that
It's
will
a
be left.
funded position,
Yeah.
full-time position right now.
I just have that different
Well,
opinion, because I know we did agree when we did the early retirement that we would allow them a 60-day window to bring people on so they can be brought up to speed in each department. So, I don't know if that's.
Roll call.
Treasurer Gilroy.
Yes.
Controller Grayson.
Yes.
Commissioner Schock.
Yes.
Commissioner Brady.
No.
Chairman Clausy.
Yes.
Number 9, a motion is needed to increase the hours of the 3 supervisors, 1 deputy chief, and 1 chief in adult probation from 37.5 hours to 40 hours per week, and overtime not to exceed 3 hours per pay period, effective January 1st, 2016.
So moved.
I second the motion, but I need Mr. Quattlew to come to the podium, please, and explain it to the board, the salary board, the money, so we give you 40 hours a week, how much money you're gonna save a county government. I mean, the taxpayer. Thank you, Mr. Quattlew.
With this plan, we're going to raise with the judge's approval for everything, we're going to raise Act 35 supervision fees from $50 to $65. That will increase at the rate we're going now in a 3-year time frame, $288,000 for the county. We will forgo raises for 3 years. This is going to mirror the POs also. They're going to forgo raises for the 3-year contract period. That will
So
save
I can't hear it too good because we
That
are.
will save the county, $98,802.
Okay.
And we will also cut our budget by $40,000.
And also, I discussed with you, the reason why we're doing this, because we're gonna go after more deadbeats to pay this year. Correct?
Right. Total savings for the county through 3 years is $264,773. After the 3 years, we'll still be collecting at the same rate. I project we'll be collecting more than that, but at that same rate, the 3 years, it'll be $25,928 for every year after that 3 years that you will save. It equals 4,888 more man-hours, which is 2.5 officers. And 2 new officers, which we had asked for at budget time, would actually cost the county $390,000 over 3 years, and then each year after.
Thank you, sir. I need a motion to.
You have a
Excuse me,
motion.
Oh, hold on.
I had mentioned, Mr. Cordelou and I had talked about this last week, and I had mentioned my concern that, being that the union employees were going to be giving up their whatever raise it's going to be for the
But
next 3 years. And to make sure that 3 years from now, they didn't come back and say, listen, we didn't get a raise in 3 years.
And I discussed with Mr. Quattlew, he said he had approval for the union.
Right.
I got a letter today, Chris.
Okay.
All the POs signed something, say they would waive it for 3 years. And I got a letter today from Jimmy Little, the president of the Teamsters, and I'll read it to you. It says, as you know, the professionals' contract is up on 12/31/2015. The adult probation bargaining members have informed the Teamsters they will not be asking for a general wage increase, and we respect their wishes, and this has no bearing on the contract negotiations for the rest of the group.
Any other question?
Just, I know that when we had spoke with increasing the act fees and collecting that money in advance now, I thought my numbers were somewhere in the neighborhood of about 120,000 a year. I think you were being a little conservative with some of
Yeah,
the numbers.
I put it at what we're at now. It's going up every month, and I mean, we haven't even been doing the collections full-time for a year now. I believe it'll be around 120,000. I put it at 98. And even if we went back to where we were when I started last May, there is enough here that it would still save money.
So, thank you.
My comment is this: I have been working with Mr. Cordello now a few months, and everything that the man he told me, he never lied to me once, and everything you've been so conservative, and I'm gonna support this issue.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, we need a motion
There's a
to
motion.
create this position. Judge, you come first.
I'll make the motion.
Judge, you make the motion. I second the
think
motion.
we made the motion.
We already
Second.
made the motion.
Okay, oh, I'm sorry.
Bridie made the
Roll call
motion, you
I'm
seconded. We just
Okay,
do
now,
roll call.
okay, I'm
Roll
sorry.
call.
Roll call.
Judge Weist,
Yes.
Controller Grayson,
Yes.
Commissioner Schock,
Yes.
Commissioner Bridie,
Yes.
Chairman Clausy.
Yes.
Recess the meeting to the call of the chair.
Okay, we going back to the public meeting, citizen input, and the agenda item. And we went through the motion, everything passed without you. As you want to know, it's so bad, too bad, because you didn't show up. What did she say? What did she want? Can we?
Any citizens input?
Any citizen input, any agenda item on the public meeting? Here none.
Number 3, a motion is needed to approve and dispense with the reading of the minutes of the Commissioners' public meeting held on May 5th, 2015.
So moved.
Second.
Any question? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carry.
A motion is needed to pay all county and liquid fuels payrolls as submitted by the Human Resources Office for payroll number 10 in the amount of $665,325.15, and payroll number 11 in the amount of $670,620.
So moved.
Second.
Any question? All those in favor say aye. Motion carry.
A motion is needed to pay all county and liquid fuels bills as submitted by the county controller in the amount of $3,433,184.77 from May 2nd to May 29th, 2015.
So moved.
Second.
Any question? All those in favor say aye. Motion carry.
Following our announcements, the Courthouse Administration Center and related county facilities will be closed on the following days: Monday, June 15th, in observance of Flag Day, and Friday, July 3rd, in observance of Independence Day. Also, the next public meeting of the Northumberland County Commissioners is scheduled for July 7th, 2015. At this time, we will recognize the controller for a report on bids that were opened at the Administration Center for the following: Career Center boilers and the rehabilitation of Bridge 34.
We received 4 bids for the Career Center boiler systems. First bid from Sunbury Supply Company Incorporated of Sunbury, PA. Base price lump sum bid of $113,000. Second bid from Bognet Incorporated of Hazelton, PA. Base price lump sum bid of $109,000.
109, you say, Chris?
$109,000.
Okay.
The third bid from LTS Plumbing and Heating Incorporated of Paxinas, PA. Base price lump sum $96,780. And the fourth bid from Myco Mechanical Incorporated of Telford, PA. Base price lump sum $224,000.
So the cheaper bid, it was the
LTS.
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 And then we received 5 bids for the rehabilitation of Bridge number 34 in Rockefeller Township. First one from Bi-State Construction Company Incorporated of Easton, PA, $544,167. The next from Bill Anskis Construction Incorporated, Elysburg, PA, $514,274. Glenn O. Hawbaker Incorporated, State College, PA, $676,904. Kevin E. Raker Construction Incorporated, Sunbury, PA, $556,401.30. And the last from Robert C. Young Incorporated of Mifflinville, PA, $603,255.40.
So was the Cheapanskas? Okay.
Okay, item number 8, a motion is needed to accept the bids and award the Career Center boiler bid to LTS Plumbing and Heating Paxinus at their total project cost of $97,280 as recommended by Catino Associates, Inc. and submitted by the Planning Department.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carry.
Number 9, a motion is needed to accept the bids and award bridge number 34 to the lowest responsible bidder based on a successful review by the Wilson Consulting Group.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all those in favor say aye. Motion carry.
A motion is needed authorizing the Commissioners to approve a letter of support to Mr. Willie Taylor, United States Department of Commerce, Economic Development Administration, supporting and participating in the Economic Development Administration activities of CETA Council of Governments for fiscal year 2015, and this is a ratification.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all those in favor say aye. Motion carry.
A motion is needed authorizing the Commissioners to approve a letter of support to Mr. Richard Farr of Rabbit Transit, providing a local match in funds in the amount of $6,800 to renovate the facility located at 61 Tyler Avenue, Ellisburg. And this is a ratification.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all in favor say aye. Motion carry.
A motion is needed to appoint Mr. Justin Dunkelberger, Northumberland, to the CETA Foundation to a 3-year term beginning July 1st, 2015, and ending June 30th, 2018.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all in favor say aye. Motion carry.
A motion is needed to appoint Mr. Tom Rawl, Sunbury, to the Northumberland County Industrial Development Authority to a 5-year term beginning immediately and ending December 31st, 2019, as submitted by the Planning Director.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all those in favor say aye. Motion carry.
Number 14, a motion is needed authorizing a refund to William F. McBride in the amount of $489.08 for parcel number 020-03-065-057 located in Shamokin due to his approval for the real estate property tax exemption under the Pennsylvania Department of Military and Veterans Affairs as submitted by the Veterans Affairs Office.
So moved.
Second.
Question, all those in favor say aye. Motion carry.
A motion is needed authorizing a refund to Patrick and Marcy Hollenbach in the amount of $183.25 for parcel number 053-03-008-148 located in Sunbury due to an error in the assessment of the property as submitted by the Assessment Office.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all those in favor say aye. Motion carry.
A motion is needed authorizing the Commissioners to sign the State Tax Equalization Board voucher form for transfers of real estate for the month of April as submitted by the Assessment Office.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all those in favor say aye. Motion carry.
A motion is needed authorizing the Commissioners to sign a subdivision plan prepared by Brincash and Associates for certain coal lands located in Cole Township for submission to the County and Township Planning Commission as requested by the Planning Department.
So moved.
Second. On the question, Pat, I haven't heard anything about this.
This was, actually, it says the planning department, this was something that we've been working on with the AOAA. This involves subdivision of a parcel of land in Cole Township that we're working with an additional coal operator on. We're hoping to get this subdivision approved, then subsequently come back to you guys saying it was approved by the planning commissions, and then propose hopefully a land swap, surface right for surface right at that time. Right now, we need to do the subdivision, work out some of the details. I'm hoping to be back by year's end.
Okay.
But this is the first step in probably 2 or 3.
I think there had been discussion conceptually about it quite a while ago. I just didn't know that was.
Biggest problem we hit was we couldn't complete the survey before the winter, and then it snowed, and now finding pins out in the middle of the coal lands is not an easy process.
Okay.
say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
A motion is needed acknowledging receipt of the following reports. Tax Claims Bureau report, a total of $391,274.92 collected in taxes for the period May 6th to May 31st, as submitted by the Tax Claims Bureau, and the assessment change report for the period of April 6th to May 4th, as submitted by the Assessment Office.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
A motion is needed authorizing children and youth to purchase the following vehicles through the CoStar's Piggyback Program. 2014 Dodge Journeys SE all-wheel drive from Zimmerman Enterprise, Inc. for $24,866 each.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all those in favor say aye. Motion carried.
A motion is needed to approve the list of individuals no longer employed and new hires for Northumberland County as submitted by the Human Resources Department.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all those in favor say aye. Motion carried.
A motion is needed to authorize the entering into an agreement with the performance of a title search for the MLC Properties 1 LLC, MLC Properties 2 LLC, and the Penn Homes, Inc. property known as the Human Service Complex located in the city of Sunbury.
So moved.
Second. On the question, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
One nay. One no.
Okay.
If we could pause here, it is 1:30. I don't know, is he going to call into this number, or should we call him? We're calling him, okay.
What,
We have a...
okay, you want to
short-
explain it to, because, I just see this morning the agenda. You want to explain to what's going on to the public?
Yeah, OpenGov is a website that would virtually allow every resident of our county to see our open books. And as time progresses and we get the back data uploaded, as well as current data under a new Tyler technology system that I want to thank, by the way, the CFO and the controller for making a lot of headwind with that and those chart of accounts. It will virtually be seamless in that every resident will be able to see what monies are being spent and what they're being spent upon, what percentage of budgets are being utilized, where budgets stand in a real-time fashion. So I thought it would be good just to take 15 minutes of our time, as well as the people that took their time out, to see the website for itself and see the actual information and data that it provides. It's really something to be seen. So with that, I guess we're going to call him. Then I'll just do it from my phone here. Probably the easiest.
Welcome to Ring Central Conferencing. Please enter your access code followed by the access code accepted. There is one other participant in this conference. Please announce yourself.
Hello, Owen. It's Stephen Bridie.
Hello, Silver. Can you hear me?
We sure can.
Okay, terrific. And I think we're reconnected on the demo. You should be able to see my screen.
Sir, before you start, let me tell you something. You have 15 minutes, and that's it. 15 minutes.
Put that down.
15 minutes for the demo?
This moves
Yeah,
down.
that's it.
This moves down.
I will notify you.
Okay, very good. Not a problem. Well, thanks for making time. Just let me know when you'd like me to start. Let me know if everybody can hear and see okay.
Go ahead, sir.
Everybody's waiting for you to start. Thank you, Owen.
Oh, okay, great. Well, thanks everyone for making time today. It's a pleasure to speak with everyone. I'm Owen Silver from OpenGov, and happy to show you our platform for financial transparency and reporting. And I'll show you a few examples of some customers that are in Pennsylvania, as well as some others across the country. And we'll start maybe with just a very quick introduction for those of you who aren't familiar with OpenGov, to tell you a little bit about the company, for the demo that you're going to see today. OpenGov is a software company. We're based in Silicon Valley, California. We are the premier web-based service for budget and financial information. Product is designed specifically for multi-fund government accounting. So it's a very specialized product with many unique capabilities, really the only one of its kind. And in Pennsylvania, we have a number of customers, including Montgomery County, as you can see here. They recently launched their site. Chester County, Reading, Pennsylvania, Baldwin, West Homestead, and we also work with the Office of Open Records for the Commonwealth. And the service is entirely web-based, doesn't require any integration or installation. It's a very quick, easy setup. Our director just looked at some of the data that you all sent over last year and confirmed that it looks pretty good, and we can work with that data and begin setting up a draft site for your review and evaluation anytime you'd like. So I'm going to show you the 5 different reports that are on the OpenGov platform. We have what we call our current year program or report that I'm going to load that up here and show you year-over-year expenses and revenues within the current fiscal year. I'm on a cell phone connection here, so that looks a little, our site is generally lightning fast, as you'll see if you have a fast connection on your side. Give this a second to load. So our core product, as I mentioned, we call the Annual View Report, and it's year-over-year expenses and budget. You can decide how many years of history you'd like to show, how many years of forward-looking budgets you'd like to display. But the key thing is that it gives any user the ability to interact with the information, not just look at static graphs, but to be able to view it in a form that really anyone can understand. So OpenGov is really a tool that enables finance teams to communicate complex financial information and concepts to non-finance people. And it can be used both for transparency, for sharing information with citizens, and generating a more productive, building trust with citizens and demonstrating your transparency. Secondly, it's also used for internal financial reporting and can save a ton of time on your financial reporting and budget presentations and actual budget book documents. And so these charts are all interactive. As you mouse over, you see these data points pop up with totals overall, totals by department in this case, and then you can click anywhere right on the chart itself to kind of drill down through the organizational structure and see, if you click on one of these departments, it'll take you down to the next level and enable you to view the year-over-year expenses for each of those divisions within that department, your specific chart of accounts that would match the labeling and structure that's in your accounting system. And one of the key things about OpenGov, I'm going to see if I can get that logo to show up here. One of the key things here is that it enables you not just to view the organizational structure, but actually flip over and view the accounting structure or financial structure of the organization as well. So try to, I think I've got kind of a weak cell connection here, which is part of the issue. So it looks like I have got a problem with my connection at this end. I apologize. Just give me maybe get this to see if I've got another Wi-Fi connection available to me here. And this is, this is my local connection. I'm on a little cell phone connection here. That's why I'm having this issue. But anyway, hopefully this will enable me to continue on. I'm going to go back to that starting screen and demonstrate how we've also got this drop-down menu here. I can also switch this over to expense type and view the financial or accounting structure as well. Drill down to the object level. And then switch back to department. You can actually generate these views of your data that are multidimensional. So now I'm looking at the accounting structure. I can drill down into salaries, for example, like level, see just regular salaries by division, or switch this back to the department view and be able to view salaries by department. So OpenGov has this unique ability to be able to view this data in a multidimensional fashion and be able to generate really any conceivable view of your data. You can quickly, easily switch to different chart formats like a line graph or bar graph. You can switch this to a pie chart, and you can actually slide this along and visualize how proportions have changed over the years. So this being state-of-the-art data visualization to government finance. One of the key capabilities for internal reporting is this download button. So you can instantly download any OpenGov report or chart as an image file. Any table below is a spreadsheet. There, by the way, below every chart is a table with all the corresponding numbers as well. You can hit expand all and see all the underlying divisions within that financial structure or organizational structure. But the key thing is that once you've got that chart just the way you want, you can then download that as an image file. You can download it table as an image or a spreadsheet. And so as an alternative to spending many hours with a big complex Excel spreadsheet trying to generate the charts and tables needed for financial reports and budget presentations, you can literally cut that down to a few seconds on OpenGov. So we have many, many customers who are very happy with the return on investment they're getting because of the significant amount of time that they're saving doing their financial reports and that type of thing. You can also share very easily any report. Every report's got a specific web address. So you can link from your accounting website, not just to your OpenGov site in general, but you can link to specific reports. So for example, City of Fort Lauderdale, they got set up within 3 weeks of signing on, publicly launched, and added this page to their city website for financial transparency. And down below, screenshots and information on OpenGov, down at the bottom of the page here, are these frequently asked questions. And each one of these questions links to that specific report on OpenGov. So what are the expense types for police? If I click on that question, it'll open the Fort Lauderdale's OpenGov site with the specific reports that address that question. Just give that a second to load. In addition, you can see over here we've got saved views. So there are a number of tools that you have to be able to tell a story with your data, to make specific points to your users, whether those are internal or external users. And so you have the ability to save reports, to annotate, to add annotations to these charts. There are a number of tools that enable you to give more direction to users and make the points that you want to make and offer explanations for things about different expenses and a rise in expenses 1 year over year, that type of thing. In addition to this annual view report we've been looking at, we've also got several other reports like current year report, which Montgomery County is using to be able to view budget variance in any level of detail. We've also got, so this shows actual and prorated budget numbers that give the budget variance in dollars and percent. We also have a balance sheet report that enables you to view balance sheet information at any level of detail across multiple years. We've also got a transactions report potentially that would allow you to see transaction level detail and be able to filter this by any field in the data set, find just the transactions you're looking for. Keep in mind that any of these reports can be public or private. You can determine what information is made public, if any, and a set of tools that enable you to control the level of detail that you would be opening up to the public if you choose to do so. And then there's also a control panel which enables you to easily update the information yourself and that type of thing. So thank you for bearing with me with some of the connection issues I'm here. I'm actually speaking to you from the GFOA conference in Philadelphia, where I've been for the last couple of days. But I'll pause and see if there are any questions or feedback at this point.
I have a question myself. Oh, yeah, okay. I have a question myself. Who's going to put all this data into the computer to the people to see what they ask? What's the question that people ask? What are they looking for? Who's going to put all the data in the system? Are we going to have our own employee to do this?
Right, so this is a standalone web-based service that we host and manage. And the way that we set it up with generally finance people to get an export of your financial data in the form of a spreadsheet usually that comes straight out and that's sent over to us. And in fact, we already have some data that was sent to us by, I think, Steve Cook last year that we took a look at today to look at it for, to see if it's data that we can work with, and indeed it is. And so it starts with a simple export of data. We do the heavy lifting. We set up a draft site that's then ready for your review and refinement. We go through an acceptance process. And then when the site is set up, we have this control panel that looks like this. I was going to show you in the data area tab here is where you would manage your data sets and go through a tool here that allows you to upload a new data set for a new year or a new month, depending on what reports you're using. And those updates take about 10 minutes. You've got a saved report that you've already identified. You run that report, you export the file, and then you come in here and you go through that and activate that file.
What can I ask? My next question is, what is going to cost this per year?
Right. So we have given a price quote to you guys. Let me see if I can find that real quick. I should have had that ready. Sorry. But I can pull that up pretty quickly. But the price is an annual subscription price. It's all inclusive. It includes all the upgrades, all the hosting, unlimited technical support, training. And let me pull up the latest proposal that I sent to you all. I apologize for not having this ready at my fingertips, but basically it's it's a scalable price that's based on the size of your total budget. I'll have that for you in 1 second here, but
I want to know what's going to cost the minimum, what's the maximum?
Based on your budget and your number of constituents.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, what's the maximum, what's the minimum?
It was when I first brought it to the board and sent it out, I think it was I want to say August or September, the price was in the $8,000 range, and then they were having it.
Right, exactly. So it's $8,500 per year. It's $8,500 per year, and that would be for the entire package of all the reports.
And you got to put all the information in there? You putting all the information in this computer? Or we have to do?
We send them the report, like Mr. Cook. He prepared, I think it was
the
2 or
budget.
3 years of data, and exported it to him based on the past, and then when Tyler comes up, they can actually integrate with that. But my question, it goes into I guess the usability more so than anything. I assume we'll receive traffic reports as to how many constituents or individuals worldwide would be clicking on our data. And number 2, what kind of traffic has other municipalities at our level seen to see if that expenditure is being utilized properly by its constituents?
But you don't think that this is more like accounting? reviewer, like the accountant should get involved with these things? I mean, what the hell I know about this computer things? I think of the account, that's more like accountant stuff, you know what I mean? Like Grayson, and you know about computer, maybe Mr. Shark. I'm a dunk in this field. Okay, so I think they should come and talk to, and meet with the people who's involved in this issue.
Chris has sat through, I sat through two. Chris has been through one here and one at another.
Yeah, I just did that
Yeah.
API last week, too.
And by the way, sir, I give you a minute extra. It's 46 minutes. We're going to cut you off, my friend.
Just to answer my question, are you seeing much traffic at similar municipalities as ours, or?
Yes, so from this control panel, you would be able to see exactly the number of visitors you're getting. That's part of the tool set. And I don't have an exact number for you in terms of the average traffic level for a government of your size, but part of that is how you are communicating that to your residents and linking to it from your website, from our marketing and PR department to help you with an initial press kit for a launch announcement and help with ongoing awareness, building of that traffic. It's not going to be a ton of traffic on day one, but it's really a platform to build on and to demonstrate your transparency and to enable folks to know that this information is available to them anytime that they want to get it. But the real return on investment, as we mentioned before, is the significant time that can be saved on internal reporting, and then the advantages to having this information available and accessible to elected officials and to the rest of the staff as well.
Sir, I'm sorry your time is up.
Okay.
I apologize. You must meet with the controller, with the expert, and you guys can continue this conversation another day. We're going to close this meeting.
Okay, thank you, Owen.
Thank you very much, sir.
Appreciate
Thanks for calling.
it. Have a good day.
Thank you very much, everyone. Appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Move on.
Number 20, a motion is needed authorizing travel requests and attendance at the following workshops, seminars, as in accordance with the county's personal manual travel reimbursement policy listed as items 22A through E on your public meeting agenda.
So moved.
Second?
On the question, those in favor say aye. Aye. Solicit report.
No.
Oh,
Motion is needed to adopt the following honorary
Oh, I see
letters. Birthday celebrations. Miss Lena Scheckler, Turbertville, 99th birthday. Miss Helen Hollenbach, Trevorton, 104th birthday. Class of 2014 Eagle Scout honorees, William McGovern, Chick-Shinny Boy Scout Troop 17, and Patrick Milham Bloomsburg Executive Council. National Outstanding Eagle Scout Awards. Michael Dennehy, Danville Boy Scout Troop number 17, and Michael Benjamin, Danville Boy Scout Troop number 33. And the following wedding anniversaries, Mr. and Mrs. Mark Huffman, Sunbury, 60th wedding anniversary, and Mr. and Mrs. Nicholas Kohler, Coltmont, 68th wedding anniversary.
So moved. Second.
on the question, those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carried. I want to say happy birthday to Helen. I know myself, Helen, personal. She's a wonderful lady. She was 100 years old. She worked in my election. It's amazing, amazing woman that we have out there. And second, I was watching CNN the other day. Believe it or not, it's somebody in China. It's 126 years old. God bless him. God bless him. And she's sharp like a pencil. All right, go ahead. Okay, and the question of favor say aye. Aye. Motion carried. Next, solicitor report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Motion to adopt ordinance 0-01-15 as presented by the Solicitor, ordinance of the County of Northumberland for the issuance of a general obligation note series 2015 in the amount of $10 million. The intent to adopt this ordinance was properly advertised according to law.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, this is one of two motions that, in conversations with our consultant CGL, they've suggested that we hold off on, they have a proposal to us to provide overall management the prison project, and to be able to, and the other one would be the one that's coming up with respect to engaging the architects. That they would be able to negotiate on our behalf, oversee the entire project. There are elements within both the architectural agreement where we are paying them for portions of that, where it would be better that we have someone who is they don't have an interest in building this out larger than it would need to be, et cetera, who is representing the county in that regard. So one of the things they mentioned too when they knew that this was coming up is they felt that 10 million was probably quite a bit more than what we would need for initial startup costs, and that it would be perhaps behoove us to wait, get their input on it as to how much they think we are realistically going to need, given the things like engaging architects, some of the initial things before we start breaking ground, so that we aren't borrowing more than we need initially and paying interest on
Okay,
that.
Mr. Shucker, for the record, the $10 million we borrowed, it was the idea to borrow $10 million and start a function to build the prison, and then when we would go to, when the plans was done, and we, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, when the plans was ready, we go to a bid process and we say, okay, the total amount is $30 million. Let's use an example, $30 million. So we would go for a bond for $30 million and then pay the $10 million or $6 million or $5 million, whatever we all pay back that money, and then we have one bond, correct or not? Yes, yes, yes. That's what the intention was, to borrow the 10 million, but we don't know how much we're gonna use. And
Also
then,
qualified.
Right.
Up to 10 million a year, we can borrow qualified, which is
we're not gonna
not
get it all at
drastically, but
once.
it is a lower rate than what we would typically get under, if we had non-qualified issuance, so.
Right. The $10 million, the way that, what we did ultimately was we went out and seek bank financing proposals for $10 million over a period of 20 years. But it's really the most flexible loan you could have, in that, I guess to answer your question, it could frankly go either way. The $10 million loan is a drawdown loan and prepayable at any time. So it has all the flexibilities you might want. When you say you don't yet know what the total scope of the project or what the total cost of the project is, this could be the first $10 million to proceed with those soft costs, and then ultimately move into construction, use the proceeds for the construction loan. If later, using the chairman's number, if it's $30 million, yes, you could pay off this loan and do a $30 million bond, but you might like where interest rates are today, that you've borrowed, you've hedged.
And we will look when the time comes.
Right, right.
But we have the right to pay it off.
You do have the right to pay it off, or you have the right to say, this is my first 10 million, and if the answer is you need 30 million, you might do $20 million later. Because if rates, excuse me, if interest rates go up, you might say, I love this bank loan rate. When we need the second $20 million, you could do that as a second borrowing, if rates are higher in the future.
And what's the rate of the $10 million?
The proposal you received, the best proposal you received was from Susquehanna Bank. Over the 20-year term, it's a rate of 2.77% for 10 years, variable thereafter with a cap of 5%.
Okay, and the way I understand that the bond, as we go get a bond today, it's in the range of 4.5%.
I'd say 4, yeah.
Okay, 4, even 3.5.
More than this.
So.
And you ultimately wouldn't know you're borrowing the right amount of money. If you're not knowing.
And I'm bringing out the issue about, what's that company?
CGL.
CGL. Okay, CGL, we started to do a $50,000 project first. Then we went to another $100,000 project. And I mean, it was a cost, so it was just going up and up and up. I had a conversation in front of them. I said, no, you're going to do the quarter hours and that's it, nothing else. Now, in my opinion, we're going to move forward with the $10 million. It's costing the taxpayer $200,000 a month. Okay, the $10 million we're going to borrow. The interest is the right thing. It's cheap. And we're going to move forwards to go to the process.
And to get to my point, what they were saying wasn't so much, I mean, they know that ultimately the ultimate cost of this project will be much more than the 10. That for the startup cost, the initial cost that we may need to start engaging architects, engineers, that type of thing, that they felt that 10 million was probably well in excess of what we would need for that. That we might be better off looking at something that is, an amount that's less.
Argument, but go ahead.
What?
That's a straw man's argument. Of course you're going to need in excess of $10 million as time goes on, and if we don't have to take it initially, we're not going to be charged interest on it.
That's right. It's a
So
drawdown loan,
it's
so
a
you're
straw
not going
man's
to pay.
argument. I don't know what you're failing to understand here. Secondly, with
Well,
Bob
Mr.
Goble,
Brady,
spoke to
when I
Bob
fail to
Goble.
understand, it's because I get a report that apparently must have the information on it, and this is the first I've seen it, is it's on the desk as I show up for this meeting.
Where is the other report? Now, Mr. Shock, I think here we can, where's that report you give me?
In the back of your folder.
I told you I want that report.
But I did speak to Bob Goble, CGL, on numerous occasions, and he is willing to look at our contract. And when we do come to that proposal for the engineer,
Where's the rest?
an architect, rather, that I'm going to ask that we wait to sign it to get CGL's direction on that, because from what I understand, there are a number of things within that contract that they can negotiate that percentage lower. So,
Mr. Shock, here's what I don't understand. They always say you don't know nothing, you don't know nothing. It's an article in somebody's paper.
I'm supposed to find out about the information by reading local newspapers. Okay,
You lie.
okay.
You lie. Here, and you, sir, you read the daily item, you make a report to sell a newspaper, okay? Here's the evidence, I'm gonna give it to you too, sir. You called me about this issue, and I told you I didn't know much about it, I have to wait for the solve issue, and Mr. Shock said he didn't know nothing about it. And Mr. Shock, you got an email in February. And what do you did? You printed exactly what he told you, you lie, and you printed. And we don't want you to look like a criminal in the press. Correct, he says I'm wrong too. You say you didn't know
Yeah.
nothing about it, you got an
No,
email in February.
no, and again, Mr. Clausen, you pick and choose the different
No,
elements of it.
it's a February,
This is
right?
an email, and absolutely, and I even stated in my comments that there was a conversation with myself and the solicitor about the fact that they were looking into entering into a letter of intent.
What do you say in the
What
newspaper?
wasn't included in that, which is what I stated in the paper, was that there was apparently some arrangement where we were going to supply employment to someone who was currently employed by the landowner. That part was never made known to me. I frankly found it by accident because I asked to see a copy of the actual letter of intent, which was also not shown to me. So,
It's when you make a mistake,
again,
it's an
you are
accident.
picking and choose. There is no accident. You are stating that I said something that I didn't state. The daily item, and we've had our issues in the past with certain things,
Janet,
but
can
they
you explain,
frankly
please, when you
quoted
sent
me
the email to
correctly. I
Mr.
gave
Shaw?
it to them in writing.
Janet, I had this conversation with you yesterday. Can you explain it to Mr. Shock?
Yeah, it says that, in the paper, it said that you only knew about it when you talked to the current solicitor.
Which newspaper?
The
are you-
Daily Item.
Okay. He came in and he mentioned it to me that they were
And then
looking
you
to
said
do
the
this.
next
And the
time I
next
was
thing,
given anything regarding this matter is when you received a draft agenda. But I had sent you an email on February the 20th with everything from Mr. Seipel.
yeah, the only time that I got more information on it, Janet, though, with respect to this apparent deal, which I have not seen reflected in writing anywhere, that we're going to be hiring someone as part of this, an employee, is that reflected in your email?
I mean, Rick, let's
don't
do
think
what's
so.
best for the taxpayer. Let's move forward, for
Why,
God's sake.
you're the one who's dwelling on the issue.
Well, no, I'm
But
just
you're
saying,
you're
we
trying to
always
say
lie.
that I said something we will allow the people. I think that the people have let us know who they trust and who they do not. So that's what's important. I don't care whether or not you
Well,
feel
the
I'm
same
lying or
thing-
not.
the same
I
thing,
care
Mr.
whether or
Shock,
not the people
The same
know.
thing, Mr. Shock, you keep saying, you can't do nothing, you gotta wait for the new board, when my new board comes in. How do you know it's gonna be a new board comes in?
Well, there is going to be a new board.
No, you said my new board
I don't
comes
say my new board. There again, you're putting words in my mouth. I said a new board.
See, no matter what I say, I'm wrong.
Well,
Let's
if you
move
continue to
forward.
mischaracterize things, you will be.
Okay, yeah, all right.
And to
Because
be
you're a
honest,
lawyer,
there
you're not a...
was never a formal written agreement or anything along those lines. When I did speak with Penn Homes, I explained to them that, our particular maintenance staff doesn't have as much working knowledge of that structure and structures as he and his maintenance person does. And he said, well, that would be an opportunity to bring on someone that does have great knowledge of that structure.
And Brian, excuse me a minute, before I negotiated the agreement 7 years ago, when I come on board, okay, so we would have left alone, and we was gonna pay we was gonna pay a $35 million when that contract would expire. We dropped down to, we save about $600,000 a year. And you can ask all the directors here. You can ask all the directors here about SIPO. And now, you know, Mr. Shaka, because SIPO, we could not touch the maintenance fee. As we purchase the thing right now, we have to control the maintenance fee. We're gonna save a lot of money. You know that the maintenance fee is outrageous with Shaka.
I brought that,
I know
I brought
too,
that issue
but we
to light
couldn't
a
touch it. We
couple
couldn't
of
touch it.
years ago
Yeah, we
about
couldn't
what you
touch it.
negotiated, and no one wanted to talk about it.
Listen, I'm gonna move.
realize where it was, and with Penn Homes, and where it came to was possibly the best that the management of Penn Homes can do at that point. And they did sharpen their pencil significantly for our
I don't wanna
taxpayers.
argue. Let's go
Now, at this
forward.
point, and that's why I said to Mr. Clausy, just because you didn't put it in our name and do these other things.
We couldn't do it.
you couldn't.
He was a lock-in.
You have two people negotiating. And if one of them says, no, I'll give you this far, but I'm not gonna give away the farm. But now he's to the point in their life and in the corporation's life, I believe, where, you know, they're starting to divest in properties. And he's looking at it and saying, look, let me help the taxpayers of
How much money
these
we was
counties.
paying on the maintenance fee, you know that, and you complain too. Now we're doing the right thing, and we're doing wrong. You know, I don't know what else we're gonna do, we
Arguing
save
for the sake of
millions of
arguing.
dollars. I want to move forward in this issue, sir.
We need a motion.
I need a
We have
motion,
we have the motion
okay, it's a motion on the floor,
for the ordinance.
okay. Everybody's in favor, say aye.
Need a second.
Oh, I need I
No,
second
you
the motion.
second. You
I second
second,
the motion,
yes.
yes. Everybody's in favor, say aye.
First, second.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Okay, one nay.
1A, okay? Next.
Motion to adopt Resolution R49-15 as presented by the Solicitor, Professional Services Agreement between the Northumberland County Commissioners and Apex Companies for the acceptance of their proposal for the Phase 2 Environmental Site Assessment for the Moran site. This is a ratification.
So moved.
Second?
On the question, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion to adopt Resolution R50-15 as presented by the Solicitor, Agreement between the Northumberland County Board of Commissioners and Buckhart Horn Incorporated, Basco Associates for architectural services and overseeing the prison project.
I'll make the motion, Mr. Chairman. And on the question.
All right, listen, I'm very, very upset right now. Can you reread that motion?
Sure. Motion to adopt Resolution R50-15 as presented by the Solicitor. Agreement between the Northumberland County Board of Commissioners and Buckhart Horn Incorporated, Basco Associates, for architectural services and overseeing the prison project.
Okay, I know what we are.
So
I'm sorry.
I'll make the motion.
Okay,
I assume you.
I second the
you
motion.
Second. Now, on the question, just to be clear, one of the main reasons why we chose this architect, Buckhart Horn and Basco, was because of their relationship with the city of Sunbury. And the intergovernmental agreement that we want to have executed with the city of Sunbury in order for us to redevelop that brownfield project for the betterment of the entire county, as well as the county employees and the inmates. With that said, however, I would like to resist us signing that agreement with the architect until CGL Companies has an opportunity to review that file. I believe that they received it. The one gentleman called me yesterday on my way back from Harrisburg, and he explained to me that they did have it, that he was going to review it. And it's normally little things, like instead of them coming down twice a week as construction managers, CMs, that they would hire someone to oversee that and be there every day, so then that would keep them from having to come down, and that which saves a lot of time and money.
So CGL is a review that,
They're going to review that.
okay, how long is it gonna take, right? Because
I
we're
would
gonna wait here
assume,
months and
he
months.
told me it would probably take 48 hours, and that was yesterday at about 3
Okay,
o'clock.
so sooner that it's approvable, we can sign this issue.
Correct.
Okay. Soon as approved
So,
by the solicitor.
Are you going to table this motion, or are you making the motion?
I'm making a motion to review by you, and we will sign the paperwork, because you told us okay.
I don't think that motion for that agreement's even in
Yeah, I
the
would just like
agenda.
to add that we give CGL the opportunity to review that, because if they can save us money, I don't foresee, and it's going to be within 48 hours. We're just resisting the urge to sign it until we hear back from them.
Okay, so is there a motion that you want to enter into this agreement?
Yes.
Keep in mind, I review the contract for legality and form, not for the content of it. CGL will review this thing and get back to you guys on what services they believe that they might be able to provide within a contract that you don't need from the architect. What I would suggest is perhaps you table the motion now, and then
I'm
you
not
can,
taking the motion because I'm not waiting another month.
okay, then you're
I
gonna,
will not wait another month.
Well,
Right.
CGL's not going to review it unless we enter into an agreement with them to provide the service
Why
of the
wouldn't you
oversight.
no.
That's what was discussed. So what needs to happen is if we're going to be involving CGL in doing this, what needs to happen
No,
today is that the board approves entering into negotiations with them on an agreement for total oversight basically owner oversight of the project. That was what they were talking about doing.
But
That would
that's
need
what
to
he
be what would
explained to
happen
me.
today.
He said, in good faith, for your consideration of being an oversight.
It's
entity."
not more money. I'm not giving CGL another penny.
But when I talked to him, I said, I would want something in writing that says that whatever we spend or give to you under a contract, that you need to save us that much, if not more, to cover those expenditures. And he didn't have a problem with even putting that in a contract. And at that point, but he said that he was going to do this as good faith. I believe I forwarded the email to Janet or John last week, I think it was, when I discussed it with you briefly. So, I'm just looking at it from dollars and cents. If I can save a point or two on a $30 million project on behalf of the taxpayers, I don't think that's a problem. And to hold it up for 48 hours, the signing of a contract.
Okay, can you make a motion? Can we hold it up for, I give you 72 hours, after 72 hours, we gotta sign it.
Okay.
Okay?
so why don't you, you can always enter into the agreement and ratify it at the subsequent meeting. Is that a plan that you have? Or,
Okay, redo the motion then, Brian. I'm not waiting another 30 days. 30, I go
Yeah.
by, 200,000,
It's-
200,000, 200,000.
It's costing us too much money. Absolutely, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, well, then I'll make the motion as it's read with an addition of, to allow 72 hours for CGL companies to provide us with guidance as to how much they believe they could save us on renegotiating the contract.
Okay, and after 72 hours, we don't.
We proceed with it as is.
Okay, but even if we don't like the motion, if we don't like the agreement, we proceed.
Right, oh, yeah.
Okay, all right.
okay, so
And a
to,
second?
I second the motion, yes. Any question? All in favor, say aye. Aye, motion
One
carried.
nay.
One nay. Okay, move on.
motion to adopt Resolution R51-15 as presented by the Solicitor, professional service agreement between the Board of Commissioners and Carter Gobel Associates LLC for consulting services related to the Northumberland County Needs Assessment and Space Plan.
So moved.
Second. Any question? All those in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carried.
One nay.
One nay.
Motion to adopt Resolution R52-15 as presented by the Solicitor, lease agreement between the Northumberland County Commissioners and Central Susquehanna Intermediate Unit for office space at the Northumberland County Career and Arts Center located at 2 East Arch Street, Shamokin.
So moved.
Second.
Any question? All those in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carried.
Motion to adopt Resolution R53-15 is presented by the Solicitor. Lease agreement between the Northumberland County Commissioners and Experience Works Incorporated for office space at the Northumberland County Career and Arts Center located at 2 East Arch Street, Shamokin.
So moved.
Second.
Any question? All those in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carried.
Motion to,
Janet. Go ahead, Janet. Go ahead.
motion to adopt Resolution R54-15 as presented by the Solicitor. Resolution of the Northumberland County Commissioners on behalf of the Tax Claims Bureau for exoneration of certain taxes.
So moved. On the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
1 minute, Solicitor.
Sure.
Go ahead, Solicitor. I'm sorry.
Motion to adopt Resolution R55-15 as presented by the Solicitor. Resolution of the Board of Commissioners authorizing Kevin Gilroy, County Treasurer, to establish a Northumberland County 2015 capital construction account with Northumberland National Bank.
Second. On the question, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Motion to adopt Resolution R56-15 as presented by the Solicitor. Grant agreement between the Northumberland the County of Northumberland and Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, acting through the Department of Transportation for reimbursement of the replacement of Northumberland County Bridge Number 8 located in Delaware Township.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R57-15 as presented by the Solicitor, reimbursement agreement between the Northumberland County, the County of Northumberland and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, acting through the Department of Transportation for reimbursement of the replacement of County Bridge Number 50, jointly owned by Northumberland County and Columbia County.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R58-15 as presented by the Solicitor, cold land lease between Northumberland County Commissioners on behalf of the county engineer and Casey Cole Incorporated for strip mining in Mount Carmel Township.
So moved.
Second.
Question, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution 59-15 as presented by the Solicitor, resolution of the Northumberland County Board of Commissioners for the approval of funding in the amount of $5,802 for the Mount Carmel Borough Lower Anthracite Transportation System, LATS.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R60-15 as presented by the Solicitor, Commissioner's Budget Amendment as listed.
So moved.
Second.
Question, all those in favor say aye. Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R61-15 as presented by the Solicitor, agreements, amendments, revisions, grants, leases, and reports between the Northumberland County Commissioners on behalf of the Human, Senior, and Social Services and the following service providers as listed, numbers 1 through 8. The above agreements, amendments, revisions, grants, leases, and reports are not with county employees, nor does their organizational contract list county employees as principals in their corporation or on their board of directors.
So moved.
Second.
Question, all in favor say aye. Motion carries. Old business. Anything under old business? Under new business, I have some under new business. I spoke to Pat Rumberger, and I spoke to Karen Leonovich. I would like to appoint Karen Leonovich to share the directorship with Pat Rumberger. That way she can train and take over when Mrs. Rumberg leaves office, and the same salary Karen makes and the same salary Mrs. Pat Rumberger makes. I would like to appoint Karen Leonovich the new director when Pat Rumberger retires.
So just to clarify, what you're saying is that they will each still be paid their current salaries
Yes.
during that period. It's sort of an apprenticeship into the,
Yeah, I had a conversation with them. They can share the directorship, then that way she learns, she's into the right process when she took over. So I like to appoint her as a new director when Mrs. Rumberg leaves, but right now they're going to share the responsibility together.
May I suggest that we just call this motion to give her the title of co-director with no salary change?
Yeah, fine.
that'd be fine.
Go ahead, make that motion.
And on that point, I think that we'll probably be seeing some, appointments due to the early retirement plan in the various offices. What I would say is, again, people should understand that with a new board coming in, not my new board, but a new board coming in, that they may choose to make some changes in those things. However, this is one that, Karen, you and I have had a conversation about it that, I feel very comfortable with myself. But people, when they take on these roles, should just be cognizant of that.
And I think we should talk to all the directors that retire, and we should ask the director who they like to have it to run the program forward, because what do we know about the program? We got to listen to the director, and we should do this through all of the directors in Northumberland County. And we should do this no later than the next month or the month after. That way they can they can go forwards. Then that way we don't have to say, oh my God, now we're going to appoint, the new board comes in and say, I want to appoint my friend. You don't know nothing about the department. Boom, and go down the tube. But the way when I come here in 2008, there was one director, he put $400,000 in a hole. But when because they bring somebody from outside, so we would have bring somebody inside, that wouldn't happen. Right, Pat? Okay, what I'm saying, let's do what's right for...
I want to thank you, because Karen will be an excellent, she's fabulous.
She's one of the greatest. I love her.
And I'll be thrilled when I retire, but I'll be really thrilled to know
And
that.
Pat, I discussed with you on land about this issue. You recommended her. I didn't think of her. And I think all the commission are on board with it.
December 11th will be my last day.
And thank you for the good service you did in 30-some years. God bless you, Pat. And believe me, all the other two commissioners, they're on board with our position, correct, Mr. Shaw?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mr.
we've already
Bryan?
had conversations
I'll
about
make the motion.
Okay, I
Second.
second the go ahead, Mr. Shaw, second the motion. Okay. Everybody's in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carried. Congratulations. Okay. Okay, anything else under new business?
I just have two quick things. First, I know everyone's been dealing with the gypsy moth problem. I myself had to go on prednisone.
We've been getting 100 call a day with the
But
gypsy moths.
I know the past commissioners in the past, I believe it was early 2000s, they canceled the spraying of the gypsy moths, so it's been over a decade now. I would just ask, being that Pat's right here, we don't need a motion or anything, but could you call the state and see, at this point in the game, time-wise, would it even have any impact to spray? I truly think it's probably too late at this point, but for future years, I think that other commissioners should keep that in mind. I know we did remove some of the black fly spraying. I don't know about you guys, but last year my house was just like black fly heaven. And this year I don't have one, so.
Who used to pay for this before, the county or the state?
I think it was $40-some thousand, like the black fly thing. But that goes back to, I think it's 2002, is that what you said?
2001,
2001,
14
so
years.
it's been gone a
Karen
long
was in
time.
contact
You
with the
think we should implement
Conservation
it now,
District.
Well,
Judy
maybe
Becker
too
at the
late at this
Conservation
point to-
District.
It's too late to spray it
Well,
this year?
I don't know.
too late, isn't
Maybe
it,
too late to get
Karen?
in the program, but,
Yeah.
well, and we have a conservation district meeting coming up tomorrow night, and I'd gotten back to one gentleman who called in here about the gypsy moth issue, and I said I would bring it up there, because I would imagine that it may be implemented through them in many cases, and to the extent that there's funding, yeah, they may be able to utilize some of the funding that we get in from gas wells, being a neighboring county
Okay.
or something to offset the cost.
Okay, let's do this. Mr. Shuck's meeting with the Conservation District today, tomorrow, whenever, okay? I'd like to make a motion, because the Conservation District recommended the county spends the money to do, so I'd like to make that motion.
Yeah, and I'll
And you
second
talk
that,
to
provided
the-
that.
I'm not sure if they are the entity who oversees it or not.
I'm saying it's-
I want to bring it up, I was going to bring it up with them, and then we could come back and.
But no, but it could be done, you move forwards,
Yeah.
after you talk to them, move forwards, then we don't have to wait till next month meeting. I mean, we gotta protect the people in the county.
I'm sorry, what?
It was called vector control.
Is who did it before? For what, the gypsy moths or the?
It was called vector control.
County had its own little agency called
Okay, what I'm saying, Mr. Shuck, you meet with the Conservation District, as they can do, you can move forwards to make a recommendation to do.
And I can come back to you with that, and we'll see, but it sounds like they weren't the ones who did it in the past. I was thinking it was something that seemed like it would have been in their wheelhouse, but it may not.
Yeah, we could proceed it, then we ratify. We can proceed it, then we ratify, okay? Go ahead. Anything else under new business?
I did have one thing I wanted to just bring before the board. I met with our Veterans Administration, Belinda Albright, and she had a really unique idea. Well, wasn't, I guess, so unique. There are certain counties across the United States that have a virtual central hub for the veterans, where they could come in, and it's not just tax dollars, whether it's VA benefits or what have you, but all the different nonprofits that give track chairs, homes for our troops, all those things, where it would virtually be a centralized location for our veterans to come in, and it could have a link to our website as well. But she sees it happening more and more frequently, especially in the South, and I think it's a good opportunity. I was just, especially since most of the human services directors are here, is there a place where, in those built offices, that you think we can fit maybe 2 offices where you could actually close the door, or create that in a corner of one of the offices? It would need to be handicap accessible, of course, but I think with her being where she is, it's great, and she's really happy there. It's just, it's not as accessible as it would be if she were, because they could bring in counselors for treating PTSDs from all these different nonprofits, where it really doesn't cost the county anything other than the space provided. So, but they would need to be, of course, very secure and confidential locations, because people really bared their souls what they went through during the war, and they need to be somewhat quiet areas. So I just wanted to bring that she's looking into that at numerous locations. I wanted to ask some of the department heads if they had some space that it would really benefit our returning troops and veterans from the previous 3 years.
Okay, anything else on the new business? We need you, council, to speak at this meeting? We don't need you to talk about.
I think we're good. I think they were here if there were any questions, but there
Okay, any
aren't.
question? Okay. We need an executive session. Okay, we choose the three commission, the attorney, we're gonna go on the other side, we come right back. It takes about a minute and a half. For litigation, by the way, anybody wants to know why, for litigation.
That way, when you do draws, you have a segregated account, meaning, let's just say you're gonna pay 5 contractors, total of $200,000. You send a letter to the bank that says, we'd like to request $200,000. They can put it immediately in the account, and you write the checks. As opposed to having them deposited into like the operating fund, we don't need all that. Does that make sense? It would expedite. Exactly. It'd be a zero balance account. Right. Yeah.
They mentioned something to me, I wasn't aware of it, but John said something about 213, so it must be what I've been
I
talking
mean,
about.
that's your administrative rule, but
He mentioned
because
213.
the way I would picture it is the authorization to pay bills is indirectly an authorization to draw a loan. So I don't know if you're authorized by virtue of having bills be authorized. Okay. You see what I mean? The authorization to pay the bills is almost simultaneous authorization to draw a loan. And you set that counts. He doesn't count. Right. 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 Correct. Yes. To pay. Flip the next page. I'm a janitor. I'm sorry. Assuming after the whole, this assumes the whole amount's drawn just for like a not to exceed purpose, but this is your repayment schedule. Assuming it's all drawn, but in the meantime, as the drawdown, it's interest only, and interest only amounts to advance from time to time, so they would then
So you're far away,
send you
huh?
an invoice. Yeah. No, what I was saying was this loan might stay in place for 20 years, meaning the project is 30.
A minute and 21 seconds. I said minute and a half. Okay, we continue. Anything else?
You should announce what that executive session is for.
It was for
For
litigation
litigation.
purposes.
The executive session was for matter of litigation. Don't ask why, the main, because we're not gonna tell you guys, okay? Make the record straight. Public input. You're not,
No, she signed up. Darlene Bainey.
oh. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. Glad you said that you're going to finish some business before.
Give me, please state your name.
Darlene Bainey.
Okay.
Okay. And that you're tired of waiting 30 days, 30 days, 30 days, because that's kind of how I feel. In September of 2014, I purchased a home at the county tax sale. Since then, I've had one meeting with Judge Saylor, and according to Mr. Rovito, it is not his concern. It is now in her attorney's hands, which is the public defender,
I spoke to
schedule.
Mr. Oviedo this morning, and
Okay.
here's what I'm going to tell you. This is in litigation, and we don't have nothing to do with this. This is out of hands. This is in litigation. This is out of the county hands. We're here to collect tax,
Right.
not to settle who, what's, what. That's a matter. It's a matter by the court. Right now, it's in the court's hands, so we cannot do
Okay.
nothing.
Okay, so you
I
have it in her
understand where
hands.
you're coming from.
Yeah.
100%, we have to reserve comment because it's ongoing litigation.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that I could refer you to was the big, long diatribe of the warning that Mr. Rovito says before each and every tax sale.
Correct.
That
Buy
there are
beware.
times where
Right.
deeds are not secured for a number of years, let alone. So I understand and I feel so terrible that this is part of the process, but
Yes, you initiated the process at the sale.
And that's all we're asking is for you to close it.
and we don't have that authority.
Why, if you started the process?
Because there's
went to
right
litigation.
now, basically, there's a challenge to the property sale where you purchased the property.
Correct.
That's in the courts. It's being challenged right now, and the Tax Claims Bureau solicitor is defending the matter on behalf of the county in regard to the sale. The person against whom the property was sold is also represented. That's currently ongoing litigation. As the buyer of the property, you are probably, and I would think off the top of my head, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to also engage in that litigation as well. That would be up to you. But at this point, there's nothing that the commissioners can do while the litigation is pending to determine the outcome as to what happens with the property.
And I understand what you're saying, we initiated the process, but it's a process that it's laid out in the statutes. The owner of the property has certain rights to litigate it and challenge it and so forth. So when it goes to a sale like that, it's with those conditions, because I think there is a statement in that litany of things that, all of the, So we don't change, part of that process is that it is subject to being challenged, and that is something where the potential new buyer takes that risk as to how long that's going to go. We can't get involved in that. As the county, we undertake our role in the process, which is to conduct the sale. But after that, to the extent that there's challenges, that is between the parties. And I think that the solicitor's correct. You would probably be able to intervene in that action. At this point, I don't know where you're at. Maybe you want to just walk away from it. In which case, there again, you could propose a settlement amongst the parties that if that other party who's challenging it, part of that challenge has to be that they're able to pay the back taxes and everything else. So if they can come forward with that, well then it can revert back to them and you get your money back as well.
Mr.
But
Shaq,
there's
it's in
all
litigation
these
right now
different
with the
things. So
court. You know what I mean? It's
All
a hands
sales
of
are
time.
final on the paperwork that you signed.
I'm sorry.
All sales are final on this paperwork that was signed.
Well, all sales are final as with respect to us, the county, and the buyer. But that doesn't mean, but it is still subject to the rights of the landowner to challenge it. So it's final as between those two parties, meaning that we don't come back in and undo it, which is what you're asking, I think, for us to do. It's final,
Right,
but it
right.
doesn't change what legal rights the prior owner, the owner of the property has to challenge your ability to
So
take
what
the
you're
sale.
saying is everybody that goes up for tax sale should challenge it.
They could challenge. They want.
They could,
And
well,
they do.
well, they'll have to spend some money doing that because whoever's challenging this has had to get an attorney and so forth, and why that oftentimes doesn't. Well, and I understand this is a different, this situation. Somebody from the well, it's not a public defender. I think it's from like North Penn Legal Services or something like that.
It's not a
And
county
again,
paid
we don't
attorney.
they're not funded by the county. They're
Listen,
not.
we want to
that's,
help you, but we can't help you. Our hands are tied. We can't. We're not going to break the rule.
So we just have to wait for the litigation to proceed, and if you want to intervene in the litigation, you're free to do so.
How can we tell the judge what to do? We can't.
I'm not asking you to tell it what the judge should
It's
do.
in the
What is
judge's
your
hands.
process? What is
Somebody
your
needs to petition the
process?
court, correct? Somebody needs to petition court?
You
No,
petition the court.
no, what I'm saying is, someone challenged the sale to you guys. They said something was wrong with the sale, apparently.
And an
And-
evidentiary hearing
and-
was set.
Okay, then, at that point, the county comes in, and the Tax Claims Bureau came in, and they will defend the fact that the sale was conducted correctly and that the proper things were done. At the same time, you have an interest in this as the purchaser of the property, so you would be able to also intervene in the action if you wanted to as well. But the point, I guess the grand point of this is, if there is nothing that the county can do while the litigation is pending, we can't magically give the property to you or give the property to them or do anything else. Basically, we just wait until the litigation proceeds, and unfortunately, litigation is sometimes slow.
Who does the next proceeding? Is it her attorney?
I don't know because I'm not the attorney involved in the case.
Excuse me.
The purchaser's attorney now has the opportunity to move this forward. That's what I've been told by my solicitor. We're waiting for them to move this case forward. You, on the other hand, can obtain counsel and also move it forward, which is what I was told.
You mean the prior owner's
Right.
attorney? You meant to say the prior owner's attorney. They're the
Correct,
purchaser.
correct.
They're the ones you need to move.
That's the government.
Just
You-
make sure
that's
that-
the government. No, I'm not. I don't make that rule.
Northumberland County.
I don't make that rule. That's state regulation.
We conduct the sale within the confines of the statute and play our role in that, but we can't play any greater and we don't play any lesser role in it. Now, the statutes provide that they have the ability to challenge this, and it's in the courts, which means they're the ones
Yeah.
who need to make
And
the
also, you come
determination.
to the wrong office. You should go to Karamazov. That's who make the rule in Harrisburg. We don't. Go see Karamazov. Give a cell phone.
I wish we could help you out, but
274-6155.
274.
No, I'm only joking. Okay. Thank you for
Okay,
coming,
thank
and
you.
I'm sorry we can't help you. Any public input? Here none, the motion to adjourn. So move.